The Grim Reaper. Brief is a man's life, and small the nook of the earth where he lives. Brief too is the longest posthumous fame, buoyed only by a succession of poor human beings who will very soon die, and who know little of themselves, much less of someone who died long ago. Written by Marcus Aurelius. Within this video we will discuss one of the most infamous creatures that has evoked a sense of bewilderment and fear within humans throughout the generations. Although he may have gone through many different names, within this video we will refer to this entity as the Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper is depicted as the Lord of Death, as they are often shown as one in the same. They are shown as a black skeletal spectre, shrouded in flowing black robes, often wielding a scythe, which they use to reap the souls of mortals. In some depictions, the Grim Reaper may also be shown carrying an hourglass, which symbolizes the amount of time left a human may possess. To traverse the realms of the living and the dead, the Grim Reaper is also often shown riding on the back of ghostly white horses or in a chariot pulled by these ghostly horses. According to some historians, the depiction of the Grim Reaper as what we imagine today first appeared during the 14th century, a time where death laid its grip on many a family, on children, on fathers, mothers and grandparents, regardless of their social status or wealth, as the Black Death did not discriminate. It is estimated that about 1/3 of Europe's entire population perished as a result of the Black Plague, with some areas, typically those of a high population, suffered far greater losses than the others. The original outbreak of the plague is traced to first appearing during 1347 to 1351, with numerous outbreaks occurring after these dates. The result of the disease and its horrendous effects was a fear that lingered over the minds of those who existed during this time, leading them to conjure the idea of death coming to claim those whom they loved. Subsequently, the Grim Reaper's appearance was directly shaped by the humans who lived during this time. It's the scythe that it used to reap the living souls being directly stripped from the agricultural practices of the time period. Just as farmers used their scythes to pluck the crops at their peak, so did the Grim Reaper pluck the souls of the living he viewed as ready to be reaped. Its skeletal appearance being the pinnacle depiction of the human body in decay, with not a single remnant of life remaining. And finally, the Reaper's robes are thought to be reminiscent of the religious robes worn by holy figures when conducting funeral services. During this time, artists also began painting horrific skeletal beings armed with weapons who danced among plague victims and celebrated their demise. These skeletal figures would also often be shown with wagons full of bodies that fell victim to the plague. Eventually, a black-cloaked figure that we would currently associate with the Grim Reaper would appear at the head of these ghastly celebrations. Lastly, we will discuss some of the more recognizable abilities associated with the Reaper. The most well-known ability is to separate a human soul from their body. Some during this time period even believed that the Reaper's presence alone would draw one's soul from their body. Once separated from a human's body, the Reaper would lead a human to the realm of the afterlife, where they would exist for the remainder of their days. The Reaper is not depicted as a creature to be stopped or felled, but more so a force of nature that every living being must face at the end of their days. However, there were a few stories of heroes who would trick the Grim Reaper or convince him to spare their souls for the time being. And in a few of these tales, it was even stated that the Reaper would bestow these individuals with talismans that would grant them immortality. Yet this immortality nearly always came with stipulations that brought great hardships to the talisman's wielders. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Grim Reaper and his domain over death and wish to learn more about this fantastical creature, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.